Good day everyone, this is Alvin again from the Philippines and welcome to my pre-arrival leaderboard for Mister Supranational 2024. Welcome. So the Mister Supranational 2024 competition will begin in a few days as well, and the SupraChat is already done, and we have witnessed all the candidates deliver themselves in terms of public speaking, showing their personality, their confidence, with the exception of course of Vietnam, who was just recently announced, and he is not included in this leaderboard yet. So I guess we'll just have to observe him during the arrivals. So right now, there are more than almost 40 candidates confirmed for the competition, and after looking into everything that they have in their profile, based on everything that we've seen, based on everything that we've watched, and based on everything that we've heard during the Super Chat, I will be naming my top 20 for the pre-arrival, but I will be only giving my commentaries to my top 12. So, before I reveal my top 12 pre-arrival favorites, here are the men who I ranked number 20 to number 13. We have number 20, Lao Sanon Manifon. We have 19, United States. Number 18, Paraguay. Number 17, Sierra Leone. Number 16, Dominican Republic. Number 15, Guatemala. Number 14, Haiti. And number 13, Mexico. And I wanted to start with my top 12 because I believe that these 12 are very strong already. And to be honest, this is a very, very solid top 12. So we may have similar list with differences in the ranking. So let's go ahead and compare our list. So let me begin with my number 12. Indonesia, Nathaniel Christopher. He is very young at 20. Actually, he's the youngest in the group, and he's already well accomplished, which is impressive, and has delivered and performed quite well at the Super Chat. I think he could easily make it in the top 20 with the possibility of going far. He just needed to make sure that he could stand out from all the other candidates who are also strong in this competition. So if he could do that, then I wouldn't be surprised if she goes as far as top 10 or who knows, top 5. Number 11, Thailand, 𝗠𝗜𝗦𝗧𝗘𝗥. Thailand was an amazing surprise during the Super Chat. He speaks extremely well. I have heard that he won the competition, but I haven't really checked into him before. So the Super Chat was the first time that I was fully engaged into him, watching him in his performance, and I was just amazed. He speaks extremely well, and he's actually quite smart when it comes to his responses. I'm very, very impressed. Actually, he was my winner for episode 7. The result hasn't been revealed yet, but based on the votes I submitted, he was my winner in episode 7. And let's see if the result would agree with my choices, because of course, public choice could affect the result too. If Thailand would be able to deliver in the competition, especially in the other aspects of the competition, he could easily go as far as the top 5, and he may do well, especially considering his speaking skills. Number 10, the Czech Republic, Adam Cedro. I love the rawness and natural charm and elegance during the Super Chat. I can see him as a very genuine, real, and honest candidate, especially based on how he gives his response. He's not really trying to be patty or anything, which I really appreciated a lot, and I'm looking forward to see how he would perform. As of the moment, I see him placing nothing less than a top 10. I mean, look at him. Do you really see him placing under the top 10? I don't. Number 9, Puerto Rico, Christian Gonzalez. He's got a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, and he was a pretty good surprise during the Super Chat as well. I didn't notice him before, but as soon as his latest updates were released, the photos, his Super Chat performances, he eventually skyrocketed in my list. If you have checked my previous leaderboard, I forgot if he was there, but I believe this is the highest that he's got in my leaderboard so far. I like his beauty. He's got that telenovela leading man charm and vibes, and I can't wait to see more of him in the competition. Number 8 goes to Ecuador. Fernando Mendieta. He is a really strong candidate this year. I think we all fell in love with his beauty and charm and personality and confidence during his performance at the SupraChat. I have my criticism with how he responds and deliver his responses, but generally he was very eloquent. He speaks well, and what really captured our heart the most was his gut full of energy and personality. We just loved him. He charmed all of us during that, and even until today I am still charmed by Ecuador, and I think Ecuador will be winning so many hearts this year. Do I see him as a potential winner? Of course. Number 7, Spain. Alvaro Hermes, one of my favorites as well, and as what I've said earlier, my top 12 are all full of candidates that I consider as potential winners. That's why even if Spain was one of my favorites to win, he's only at number 7, which I believe still is a decent number. Spain maybe at number 7, but I would be very happy if he could pull a back-to-back win for his country. I mean, Alvaro is such a strong follow-up after their 2023 victory. He is a plastic surgeon, he speaks incredibly well, and his body looked amazing. And I also thank the organization for always tagging me with all the latest updates and posts, because, you know, I truly appreciated that very, very much. And he looked incredibly handsome too, and he is definitely coming as a front runner. Definitely a sure favorite of mine. Number 6, Peru. Joel Farach. We all love our Peruvian Prince Charming, and let me just highlight that I commend him for speaking Spanish during the SupraChat, because he was able to express himself very well. His delivery of his responses screams confidence and firmness, which is why I truly commend speaking in the language in which you're most comfortable with. And I believe his answers were pretty good too. I wasn't a fan of the translator, especially with how his answers were translated, but considering the translation and considering his own delivery of response, I think he did extremely well. I have also seen clips of his preparation, his runway performances, and all of his updates, and I am positive that Peru would do very well this year. Also, a potential top 5 placer, even a potential winner. Top 5 pre-arrival. Starting with my number 5, the Philippines. Brandon Espiritu. The Philippines has never passed the top 20 cut, but I have utmost confidence this year that Brandon will pull Philippines' highest placement at Mister Supranational, be it in the top 10 or top 5. I believe he could do that and get the highest placement. With his quality, I believe it is time to get a higher placement, top 20. He stood out. He can stand out actually in terms of the physical aspect, in terms of body and beauty. His walk is great. He has experience as a model. And of course, if you have watched his SupraChat, he speaks very, very well. I think he's the strongest representative from the Philippines, in my opinion, so far. Number 4, South Africa. Fezile Makhize. All eyes will definitely be on him right now, as he competed and represented his country at Mr. World 2019, where he finished as first runner-up. I mean, that alone is an incredible record. He's an actor, podcaster, and a medical doctor. And with his track record and experiences, considering his impeccable performance at the SupraChat, he is set to do very well and could potentially be Africa's first Mister Supranational. I can definitely see that happening because he is incredible in all aspects. Well-polished pre-arrival performances so far. Number 3, Brazil. Matheus Maia. I really, really like Brazil, especially on a personal level. I wouldn't mind if he would win this year. He is the sweetest man ever. I loved him during the SupraChat. He speaks really well, and I believe his sincerity, which truly screams every response he gave, just won me over. I mean, that was just amazing to hear. And for someone like him who speaks like that, I think he's just giving me Mister Supranational vibes. Also, another positive thing is that he also speaks English fluently, so he could potentially pull a victory easily if he could manage to enter the top 5. I mean, anyone who can speak any language could win, but I consider someone who speaks English with a little bit more advantage, because of course I'm okay with interpreters, but sometimes they really mess up the answers. So I am so glad that if ever there will be no interpreters, Brazil could handle himself very well because he can speak the language. Aside from that, Brazil is a powerhouse at Mister Supranational, and they've done so well consistently in the past, and they would do it again this year. Number 2, Netherlands. 𝐾𝐍𝐷. Netherlands is also another candidate who's giving me winner vibes as of the moment based on everything that I've seen from him, especially based on SupraChat performance. I love his honesty, vulnerability, and realness during his answers. And with all the answers that he gave, I believe they were all on point, very smart answers, which is why I am very excited if he could be able to enter the top 5, because if he could do that and pull that off, I believe he could easily win Netherlands' first Mister Supranational crown, especially with this charming appeal. I really love the way he looked and the way he was styled during the SupraChat. I mean, he looked very, very handsome, and his smile, oh my gosh, melts my heart. I love Netherlands this year. But as of the moment, my number 1 favorite for Mister Supranational is Venezuela, Marco de Freitas. Venezuela is once again shooting for another Mister Supranational title. I mean, they did it in the past, but unfortunately didn't really hit. I mean, they won before, but they have sent some good contenders in the past editions like William Badel, but unfortunately he didn't do it. But this year, I believe that Venezuela has once again another strong shot for that title, because pre-arrival, I believe that Marco has cemented himself as one of the clear performers and frontrunners for the win this year. Her performance at the SupraChat was just enough to solidify him as a potential winner. He looked incredibly handsome, and for someone like him who has been an altar boy, and we know about that because he went viral for it, and have a heart for doing social works, for now, I think what he's got is a true embodiment of what a Mister Supranational is. Of course, everything could still change, especially with all the performances that we're going to see, with all the performance that we're going to be witnessing. But as of the moment, Venezuela is my number 1, and I have seen him as other favorites. I have seen him in the list of others as well being their favorites, and I believe there's a reason for that, because Venezuela is such a strong candidate this year. But of course, as what I've said earlier, everyone in my top 12 are really, really good. So I'm so excited for the edition of 2024 Mister Supranational, because I believe that this is going to be a bloodbath. And with that, this is my pre-arrival favorites for Mister Supranational 2024. And I'm looking forward to know your favorites, whether we have the same current leader as of the moment, or if your favorite is in the list or not. So don't forget to leave your comments below. Don't forget to give a thumbs up and share the video as well. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe, because you'll be seeing more of these videos in the future. For now, thank you very much and have a wonderful day from the Philippines.